Right, Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome back to the Pepe update today. And there are some resistances within resistances going on for Bitcoin. It is going on for Pepe. And in this video, I just want to tell you where exactly you guys should start buying again. In my opinion, the best places to buy. So on the daily, we have Pepe that is coming down under the EMAs right now. But the thing is, even Pepe on the daily time frame actually faced this resistance, and it has made a lot of fake outs in here. Try to do a lot of fake outs, and I talked about it. I talked about the fact that we do have this rounded bottom right over here, okay, and we couldn't actually break up from that rounded bottom at the moment. And unfortunately, we have some market cycle that shows that Pepe is in for another drop, for another leg down, and that is do something that probably even move to 871. So let's actually talk about 871, and let's talk about resistances. I want to give you a clear path. It's been a while. I've actually had a rust. I'm not really getting to understand the market nowadays. I'm getting a little bit old in predictions. It's getting a little bit messed up, but I feel like I'm getting the grip once again in understanding what is going to happen. So at least I'm trying to. But the thing is, again, this on the 4-hour time frame, Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame, we have a massive resistance here that Bitcoin has failed to break. I was actually looking at Bitcoin the other day, thought, yeah, it's a good idea to buy. Maybe this is a bull flag right in here. But when you zoom out, it actually turns out that you have this one huge massive resistance over here, and you have another massive resistance right over there. And from this place onward, on the private, I've actually given a short position for Ethereum. And speaking of Ethereum, we have this one right here, and Ethereum has been doing a couple of fake outs. So for example, we had one touch resistance here, another resistance right there, another resistance. You got rejected, and then you did a stop hunt, maybe let's say a fake out, and now you're down inside it again. And by the look of thing, Ethereum is looking to drop to 24.27. Now you may wonder, why am I talking about all these things in Pepe? You have to listen to them, because I'm just trying to connect the dots for what is going to happen to Pepe. And one of the dots that I'm connecting with Ethereum especially is that if Ethereum does decide to move down here, number one, I'm going to tell you how many days it took for Ethereum to go down. Now, for example, from this first resistance up here, the one that happened previously, I'm actually going to remove these lines again, and let's start again. So from here, this resistance here, to go down to that support, so it started from, the resistance was met at 14th of May, and support was met at 19. So that is 5 days, right? The second that happened was here, and this happened in 29 of May, and the target was met nearly at 5th of June. Now that is almost how much is this? 29 all the way to 6, 7. So maybe 7, 8 days. So this one took 5 days. This one took almost 8 days. And this one, right? If this has to happen again, so I do estimate roughly between 7 to 9 days, right? 7 to 9 days. So 1 week or maximum 1.5 week. We can actually even call this as an intraday trading, right? Intraday trading. And that is because we're looking at the 4-hour time frame. So this is the 4-hour time frame at the moment. And of course, if we don't get manipulation, if we don't try to break above and all this kind of headache, then yes, Ethereum by default should come down here. And the second thing is, Ethereum can break and actually go down to 1985 if it doesn't hold support and go back up. So this is debatable, and it's not even a part of the video. But then again, if Ethereum does actually go down, this is going to be 12%, 12.7% to 24.29, right? And then you can do like another intraday trading and see if it works for you, right? Let me actually turn off the alarm and come back very quickly. Okay, the alarm is off and I'm back very quickly, as I said. So Pepe, 12.39, and if Ethereum is going to drop 10%, we can actually expect a 15 further percent retracement. So we're looking for 1,000. I would actually even say maybe 898, maybe even a 26% could be possible moving forward for Pepe. And here's the catch. The catch with Pepe is that this was a nice good accumulation zone right here. You moved up, you made a distribution zone, and we talked about the distribution zone. I actually gave you this whole idea that we have a distribution zone and it's actually time to drop down. And then you did that, and then eventually drop down. You're now moving sideways. This is like a redistribution sideways, in my opinion. And then eventually you'll go down for another accumulation, maybe to 822 and stuff like that. Start accumulation, and then from here you can actually make another move to the upside one more time. And by the way, speaking of all these resistances, Pepe made a fake out, right? So we have this one incredible place here, and Pepe made fake outs. If you look on, and this is why time frame is important. Time frame is really important, because on the 4 hour this was a touch and a rejection, a little bit of a break, but the closing was not good. The closing was not good here, and the closing was also not good right over here. But here's the thing: when you go all the way down to maybe 15 minutes time frame, you can see that it almost looked as if Pepe was making some successful retest, especially right over here. It looked like a successful retest. But I will actually always suggest you that try to confirm these retests on the 4 hour time frame, because the 4 hour time frame is the more liked time frame when it comes down to retesting some of these breaks. Now, by the way, this is redistribution, and I think you're just looking for another leg down to the downside. Bitcoin still has a threat of $91,000, and $91,000 is a CME gap, unfortunately. So that's it for the video. Hope this one gives you an idea. In the next coming videos, if you're not subscribed, do subscribe and turn on the bell. I might actually discuss the best place for the best, let's say not even intraday trading, but a swing trade, and the best area that you may actually start to buy Pepe. And for that one, I have to analyze Ethereum, and I'm going to tell you a certain price that Ethereum has to come down to, and that could be a massive support for Ethereum, especially on the weekly time frame. And that will be an oversold level on the daily. But when you go by the weekly time frame, that becomes an oversold on the daily, right? And that's the place I plan to even give you a free coin in Q3. So you have to be on the Discord. Come in Discord. If you're not in Discord, that time is coming up, because Q3 starts from next month. So in July, in August, or even in September, anytime in these 3 months, if Ethereum does actually go to that massive support area, that will be a huge discount, and we can even trade Pepe. We can trade another coin, and we're talking about doubling up the profit, right? And I've done this before. I've already people know this, that I've been able to pull this off. So I'm trying to pull this one more time. And that's all for the video. I'm going to see you the next one. Love is.